Okay, it's 6:15, and I'm a stickler for time, so here we go. All right, let's see if first time I've done this. Okay, let's see if my timing's worked out. So, if you've never been here before, maybe this is your first one, maybe you've been too drunk at every meeting you've been to. This is the news. So, excuse me, I do this in Ignite format. It's a drinking game now, too. Oh, fuck. All right, I'm already going slow. So, where do you get the links? That's going to be on our Slack. We've got this news links channel. You should go in there, check it out. Let's see, too drunk by 6:15. LOL. That's right. I can still read comments too. Twitch, get the fuck out of here. I got Zoom. Here's the new feature I told you about. Shot time. Let's test it out real quick. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. I should have. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, it works. Okay, cool. So first and foremost, if you didn't know what was happening, you should check out the DEF CON safe mode content. It's all up on the media server now. It's pretty sweet. You can go get it. It's all there. You didn't even have to bring hard drives this year, so that's pretty tight. Thunder Spy is a thing. Oh my God, where are my notes? It's covered by the chat. This is something affecting all Thunderbolt equipped systems. Sucks to be those. That's a lot of things now. They got a thing you can run to see if you're vulnerable to it. You should maybe think about running that. I don't know. Yeah, definitely take a look at that. Why is this 15 seconds staying so much longer than the last 15 seconds? No, what's happening? Are my timings borked? Oh God, I'm gonna have to manually do this. Shit. Okay, here we go. Moby Friends. Let's see, 3.7 million users of Moby Friends. It's a Barcelona-based dating app. It was originally whatever. Let's see what it contains. Email address. Relating to fuck. Oh, hey, they're working. Okay. RDP attacks are on the rise, so probably not surprising given the pandemic and everything. Work from home is completely shifting what defenders have to deal with and what we've known how to deal with for some time. If you don't have EDR on your systems by now, fuck you, you're fucked. So let's see, Facebook did a thing where they changed the SDK, and on iOS it made a bunch of applications go brr. And by brr, I mean, oh man, it's pinned. Why I should be showing up here, not you, Ben Webb. There we go. Come on, show me. No, where did you go? Whatever. Samsung zero-click vote. Oh yeah, like there was a thing that affected a bunch of Samsung phones. Like all of them made since 2014 or some shit. God damn it, fuck. Yeah, it has to get fucking patch that shit. This guy got this $2,000 bike, and it got bricked because they got bought or sued or some shit. And he didn't want that to go away, so he just decided to fix it with a Raspberry Pi. You could learn about that if you want to click on that link when you see it. I'm going to come out and say it. Not all leaks are bad, all right? There was this cat that leaked what they're calling it, Project Whispers. 10 million internal images from over 100 Discord servers run by neo-Nazis and QAnon people and shit like that. We had another leak here. This Le Figaro. It's a French daily newspaper. 7.4 billion records containing the personally identifying information of 42,000 users, including your plain text and or hash password at MD5. That won't take long or anything. I read some shitty news about Firefox today, but before I read that, I read about this, which is Firefox Relay. That's coming out on a beta near you. Maybe, who knows? They killed off their whole threat intelligence team today, if you hadn't heard. So that fucking sucks. Some cat did a really cool investigation on PYC files, so figuring out what's in those. They're Python cache files. As it turns out, sometimes really sensitive stuff gets stuck in there. So basically, take a look at your PYC file, add them to your git ignore, shit like that. We got a leak here from AIS Cellular. This is Thailand's largest cell network. They pulled this database offline that had billions of real-time internet records on millions of Thai users. Basically, you could see what someone was doing in real time. Creepy ass shit. Contact tracing, obviously a very popular topic right now, but very delicate topic as well. So Qatar had a mandated install thing, and it turned out they done fucked up, and you could see someone's GPS coordinates and health status. So Mathway had a breach, but they didn't even know about it until they saw 25 million of their records being for sale on the dark web. That fucking sucks. They're a really popular education app on Android and iOS. So that shit happens, I guess. This researcher got $100,000 from Apple for figuring out something about JWTs. I don't know. I read this really light. I wasn't really sure what happened. It gets really confusing to me. So maybe if you're smarter than me, you can look at this and know what's up. In more funny news, some hackers decided that the Chicago police could go fuck off, and they decided to air over their radios Tay Zonde's Chocolate Rain and the classic Fuck the Police by NWA. So, that's fun. West Tech is a company that got breached. You probably haven't heard of them because defense contractors don't usually like to be heard about, but they have a lot of clients like the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, the Joint Service Agencies. But it's cool. Nothing happened, probably, right? Sophos had a state of ransomware report that they dropped. Again, this is just like a view of things, but Sophos is a global company. So yeah, go for it, right? They probably got a decent idea. They had a thing. Maybe take a look at it. It's a good data point. Apparently, Zerodium's got a lot of 0 days right now. As for iOS, they're just like, hey, quit fucking sending us to it. We're not paying you shit. Used to be like $500,000 for a 0 day. That went down to like $200,000 for over the past like 3 months or so. Oh, hey, shot time! All right, if you're playing along, shot time. These boots are from our DEF CON party. If you were cool, you would have one. All right, Cloud Eye is this company that got exposed as a malware front. So they were basically saying like, "Hey, we'll hide your binaries from being able to be reverse engineered," which is a legitimate service and everything. But it turns out these guys were like selling it to malware people too. I knew I would have to do this someday. Yep, we did a thing. You can read about it if you want to. Some social security numbers may have been compromised. Oops. The South Africa bank, Post Bank, they got a problem where they suspect some employees took the master key and have actually made off with like $3.2 million worth of stuff on that. So that's got to be a fun thing to put in your DR plan. Lamp phone is something amazing from those motherfuckers at Ben Gurion University. They have figured out how to record a conversation by looking at the lamp, which sucks to be them because my broke ass only has one light up in that lamp. That's why the lighting's so bad in here. Ripple 20 is a thing that happens. So Trek TCP IP stack, that's a thing. And it's used in a lot of things. So dependencies everywhere. I actually think I have that in a slide later. It probably affects you. This company Galcom, they ended up having a series of plugins that collectively have been downloaded 33 million times. This company, Awake, figured out that they've been slurping personal data. So fuck. Golden Spy, this is some tax software that was told to be installed on some Western companies' devices to be, cool with China. And turns out it was spying on you. Who knew? That never happens, right? Fuck. Here's an interesting academic paper on, as this title shows, identifying the unintended harms of cybersecurity countermeasures. That's kind of thoughtful, right? Like, you got to think about, well, fuck, could some of these things we're doing be doing maybe a little wrong? What's going on here? Microsoft, the cybersecurity field CTO, had a really cool post on her thoughts on social engineering. Talked about reciprocity, scarcity, authority, consistency, liking things, consensus. Pretty interesting post, actually. EncroChat. This is this thing that maybe your drug dealers were using to buy and sell drugs, and the Popo totally got all up in that shit. Your drug dealers probably won't unless they live out in Europe land and stuff. But and on that point, I guess if you want to see if your drug dealers are screwing you over, here's a data point. This one company made a dark web price index. I actually just did that all for a joke. They didn't even include drugs in this, so can't even check my prices. What the fuck, man? Let's see. So we got analysis of a home security camera. So this is a Chinese home security camera service, which I thought was kind of interesting that they totally didn't talk about the title or anything of this. But kind of some interesting things that they touch on what sort of privacies you're. Fuck. There's this person. I don't subscribe to shit. I browse all with an anonymous. I don't even log in. Fuck Reddit. This is a really cool post on how to clone a credit card. It only takes a minute to do. Take a look at it. The EFF have this really cool new tool that they can show us how the police are spying on us in our own little areas. So even that guy up in Iowa, he can see the different ways the Popo are spying on him than me down in Colombia. APT29 has apparently been targeting COVID-19 vaccine development data. This is kind of one of those things where I'm like, can you blame them though? like this is kind of a global effort. Why the fuck are we even holding all that together, right? Like fuck them, but fuck you too. So there's an interesting post by F-Secure talking about the case of some counterfeit Cisco switches. Here we've got like a comparison between two of them. I guess be careful about that sweet deal you find on SecKC Black Market. Shot time! I don't have a problem. My secret is these boots. If you knew, use the bottle. Fuck you. iOS 14 is doing a cool thing where you get to opt in to the advertising identifier. It's the IDFA. Ew, vodka hands. Who the fuck's gonna opt into that? Nobody. Fuck targeted ads. They're going away. Maybe, probably not. They'll be around. F5 had a really big vulnerability with the TMUI interface. And apparently, a lot of people just don't give a motherfuck about it and just don't want to fucking patch it. So I don't know why, but you can look that shit up on Shodan. They're all there. F1. Soda Nicobi, I can't even pronounce that sober, has held an Argentinian ISP ransom for $7.5 million. Interestingly enough, this hasn't actually affected any of their customers, so they know how to, I guess, get them to pay. It's all internal shit. Diebold is talking to the people that have their ATMs and like, hey, we've seen some black boxes that apparently have some of our own software in them, and we don't really know how that got in there, but we're going to find out and not going to tell you. Let's see, this dude, Meow, that's it's a for the lulz, I guess, thing. Like, it's just a smash, they just delete shit, you know, there's no exfiltration, there's no, I'm going to hold this ransom. Fuck you, it's gone. I kind of like that method, honestly. Like, you don't deserve nice things. A thing happened on Twitter. You can take a look at that. This is some of the more sinister stuff that happened with the thing beyond the, you know, like the Bitcoin tweeting and all that shit. Everyone had fun looking at that. Yeah, that was a thing. They also caught the dude, at least who they think it is, but in typical government fashion, they didn't protect the Zoom meeting, and it got Zoom bombed with porn stuff. I'm removing people as quickly as I can when a disruption happens, Nash said after one Zoom bomber interrupted a lawyer. I like to think of how that must have played out. That must have been fun. Oh no, it's not going again. I have to jump it. Okay. And so I actually hated this article. I read it later and I realized, I was like, you don't fucking even give any evidence to that. But hey, just an announcement, Bitcoin's not anonymous. If you didn't know that, Bitcoin's not anonymous. There are some that kind of are, Zcash, Monero, kind of. DJI has been kind of being a dickhead. Again, like overall, a lot of people get upset about it. Anyway, DJI has been kind of being a dickhead. They had some over permissive apps that were bypassing Google Play's update features. Basically, kind of a danger for people. Garmin got fucked recently. Anyone that has a Garmin device probably knows that. They ended up paying the ransomware. Fuck you, Garmin. Quit ruining it for the rest of us. Quit fucking paying people, you fucking morons. Alexa, pwn my enemies. So there's a really cool post about a group of people, I guess, maybe who wind up submitting 234 skills that violate these skills like terms, and they all get approved. Some of them took more than once to go in, but they did. Let's see, Avon, the makeup company, they got breached. They leaked some shit because they didn't secure their shit. What did this include? Full name, phone number, date of birth, email, home address, GPS coordinates, and 40,000 security tokens, some internal shit. Promo.com got breached. Let's see, that contained 22 million user records on file. Let's see, the compromised data has, what's in there? Approximate user location, your IP address, first, last name, your email address, your encrypted hash salted password. So, I guess that's nice. CWT got breached. Let's see, what do these motherfuckers get? Let's see. Oh, they paid the ransom. They get, fuck you, CWT. The attackers initially demanded 10 million, but they haggled them down to 4.5. So go you, I guess. Ohio actually did a pretty cool thing. They've got a vulnerability disclosure policy for election-related websites, so not election shit, but election-related websites. It's a start. Okay. Have I Been Pwned is going open source. Troy Hunt tried to sell it because he's tired of running it. That shit didn't work, so I guess he figured he'd open source it. I don't know. Contribute. It's a cool project, but shot time! Man, Katrina made some toasted ravioli and she made it early. And then she's fucking like, she put the plate of toasted ravioli here. Smells so good. Okay, Snapdragon, the toaster ravioli, not the vodka. Checkpoint found a bunch of details of Snapdragon processors, which is in like every fucking Android phone ever. And they patched it, but it's when's it going to get to you? So Capital One, hey, they had a settlement. I'm going to let you read my math. I mean, I'm pretty math idiotic, but I think that checks out. My shit with Google Plus is worth $12, you assholes. Procter, you had a breach. So these this affected like accounts from 2015 back. And yeah, what the fuck, man? This had unencrypted passwords. What the fuck, Procter? You guys fucking suck. Intel just had 20 gigabytes of files leaked or breached. Nobody really fucking knows, actually. Just there's 20 gigabytes of stuff that some of it says like restricted and shit like that. So there's people way smarter than me parsing it. There was a black hat talk on satellite communications, and we all assume that like, oh, you can probably listen in on satellite comms. It probably takes like a bunch of fucking money or some really cool tools. The tools are cool, but they only cost like $300. So there's that. Google was testing out some like security stuff. This guy fire in his house. They found it, and that's how we learned about Google's merger or acquisition of ADT. So that's cool. Ultralock opens with just a MAC address. So this is an interesting post from someone I've already forgotten about. And then they found out this the blog author actually found out. Oh, like by the way, Pentest Partners figured out that these guys were fucked up everywhere. Ether Oops is a thing, so it has a logo. Basically, this relies on. I got a dog in here that's fucking with shit on the ground. I don't know what it is. This involves exploiting faults in Ethernet cables. Let's see, Zello. That is a thing that allows you. Let's see, first responders, hospitality services, transportation people use it. They might have gotten email addresses and hashed passwords. They don't say what the password hashes are, though. So fuck if I know what that is. Maze ransomware fucked up LG and Xerox pretty recently. So they got 50.2 gigabytes from LG, 25.8 gigabytes from Xerox. They got a bunch of crazy shit from LG, not so much from Xerox. I put this slide in there to give myself a break because this is hard. Don't smoke, kids. All right, let's get some tools. Link lock. This is a thing where you can essentially send someone an encrypted URL. I don't really understand how this is hard, like any easier than fucking. Like, why wouldn't you just use Signal? Why wouldn't you just send it over a different secure channel? Anyway, it's a thing. SigRed, that's the big Windows thing that you probably patched by now. And if you haven't, fuck you, you really should have, bro. Any Windows DNS server should be patched. Should have been patched like yesteryear, man. DEF CON CTF archive is live. So these cats are currently running the DEF CON CTF, and they were like, hey, let's put all the old shit up there. So if you're looking for some fun shit to do, maybe check out that DEF CON CTF archive, give them a little bit of business. Boot hole is another thing. Hey, it's got a logo. It must be serious. This is a vulnerability in Grub2 bootloaders. So again, in order to actually exploit this, you kind of already have to have a situation where you're already fucked, but this does permit persistence. Hey, shot time! I wish I had put in a slide here for toasted ravioli time. I wish I'd quit pouring vodka on my pants.
Shots.
Y'all are so well behaved. They didn't take away the stuff. Festin, that's a thing. If you want to be famous and find some of these unsecured S3 buckets and shit, go download that. Go hack some shit. I bet it works. Intel Owl, that's a pretty neat thing. I've been fucking with at work, actually. That single pane of glass bullshit, like if you just want to paste something into a thing and be like, hey, show me stuff about that thing, you check out Intel Owl. It's not bad. Brute Shark is a thing where you feed it PCAPs and it tries to give you interesting stuff in those PCAPs, which I guess is pretty cool. I haven't actually fucked with this yet, but came across my feeds and I like giving you tools. This is funny to me because I saw this happen live. So I had a bunch of users reporting Emotet shit to me. I went to go look at some of the older links like a day later and I saw these GIFs and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm going to see a blog post about this in a month. It only took like 2 weeks. So whoever's doing that, you're fucking awesome. I will buy you a drink at DEF CON. C Data. This is a company that makes fiber to the home boxes. So these are things that your ISP probably drops in places. They got a bunch of like hard coded backdoors in them because this company's a dumb shit. Chrome, for whatever reason, just fucking hates the URL bar. So basically, now they're only showing the domain. So, like, I got this story off of Android Police. It's only showing AndroidPolice.com, even though AndroidPolice.com and www are different things. Did you know it was World Password Day at some point between now and whatever the fuck our last meeting was? You do now. So that was a thing. Go tell people what a good password is. It's a passphrase. So the Internet Archive is currently hosting like 1.4 million books for people like downloading shit. They're like, hey, pandemic, this shit's crazy. Y'all should take a look at this. And now they're getting sued. So I don't really know where I sit on this. Copyrights suck dick. And hey, if you haven't read this, Marcus Hutchins, the WannaCry savior, and as it turns out, the Kronos bandit, one and the same. Check it out. Read that story. It's pretty interesting to hear it from his point of view. And that, my friends, is the news.